Well, back in 2022, I did a specific video talking about what Harkon probably could have done while he was waiting for the start of the Dawnguard quest line. Now, for those who don't know, it would have taken a couple hundred years, or actually think of 1,000, for Harkon to really even go through with his plan. And so that made me wonder, was there anything specific he was doing? And if so, what? So, now, after 2 years, I'm finally making a sequel to that one I did all the way back in November of 2022, and the same one that I thought that came out in December, pretty much proving that I forgot my that I forgot when exactly I even upload half of my videos. So, well, let's just kind of take a look at some of the things he could have done that might take a very long time and see if any of these would fit him. So, of course, my number 5 pick is, of course, trying to get Black Ops 2 on the PS3. Now, if you've seen my video up on a mock screen effect, you already probably know what I'm going to be mentioning on this one. But in case you haven't, pretty much I feel that Harkon probably would have spent a lot of time trying to get a copy of this game, specifically on the PS3, and being disappointed that the game doesn't work and he has to go all the way back to the store just to return it, and a few months later he picks up a new copy thinking that the same issue won't happen again, only to realize that it happened again, and then he finds out that the digital versions, which are heavily overpriced, are as broken as the physical copies. And that's capitalism. Okay, jokes aside. So, of course, number 4, we of course have trying to platinum every Souls game. This isn't as topical as my last point, but this is something that does take a very long time. Now, obviously, I don't play Souls. I've tried. It does not go well. And so, instead of making a 4th games I give up on this video because those kind of were starting to get really too depressing to make, I, of course, realized that maybe I should be doing more funny stuff like this. So, Harkon trying to platinum every Souls game would be interesting because at the moment, there has been Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3, with the first 3 being on different consoles, so that's 3 additional platinums, plus Bloodborne, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and Elden Ring. And probably a few more I missed. So, yeah, that's the question, is how long would these take for him to platinum them all? I mean, maybe a bit. I mean, unless he's like DSP where he just is terrible at like every game, maybe Harkon actually probably could have platinum all the Souls games and moved on to something else. I mean, I feel like Harkon would have the dedication for all of this. Of course, at number 3, we of course have dealing with his backlog. So, yeah, Harkon might be a busy guy. I mean, planning on taking over the world is, like, it's not a 9 to 5, more of a 8 to 10 kind of job. Like, it takes a lot of energy and careful planning just to really be able to create something that dastardly. I mean, just look at Amazon. So, jokes aside, yeah, I feel like he probably would have spent this time working on his backlog, probably trying to complete some games so he can review them. Probably forgot that he wants to review Scarlet Nexus, and it's been like a year since he's played it. Or that he wants to review every Call of Duty, but realized he has to replay through a few of them. I mean, if this is getting too topical, then I don't know what topical is. So, anyways, next up, at number 2, we of course have getting 10 copies of Skyrim. Oh boy. Only a few people would be insane enough to get 10 copies of Skyrim. Because then there would probably be an awkward pause as everyone watching this probably realizes that I was one of those people. In fact, there were quite a few funny reactions to these. So yeah, it takes time getting 10 copies of Skyrim, especially if looking for them on the Xbox, because for some reason they never had Xbox Skyrim. I That's apparently important enough to share in this video, and I will keep it in. So yeah, so Harkon probably spent a very long time trying to get all of these before realizing that no mere mortal or even immortal can have that much power. Hence, that's why I only have like 4. Still probably gonna get the awkward question on why there's 4 and if I will ever do the VR version. Safe to say, the VR is just a giant paperweight and is probably one of the crappiest things ever made. Harkon probably agrees with that, hence that's probably why he invests in it, because Harkon is a terrible person, and those who made VR are terrible people. So of course, at number 1, we of course gained the platinum of Skyrim 7 times. Yeah, gaining the platinum, or I guess all achievements 7 times, is soul draining and kind of soul crushing. Only the most devious people would ever do this. So Hakon's perfect at that. Same thing with probably Trevor Phillips. I feel like those two would get along pretty well. So getting a platinum in Skyrim 7 times is a pretty daunting task, especially when you forget what exactly you're supposed to do and kind of don't remember where you put all the notes you've written down. I promise that this is nothing from your life. So yeah, I feel like Harkon probably did this. This is probably the most reasonable thing he's done. But honestly, for all I know, Harkon probably could have just been getting in fights at 3 a.m. outside of a Taco Bell on a Tuesday night before heading to his 9 to 5 job where he picks fights with people in Souls Reddits. But I feel like this is probably what Harkon probably could have done. All these probably are wrong. As I said before, Harkon probably was just doing other productive things like, kicking snowmen after they got built or slashing tires. Either way, I've been your host. Goodbye. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next time with a Skyrim Quest review.